Okay, hospitality. I wrote this on 621 because I was looking at a layout and, you know, I had to think back on many of the places I've been as far as a doorman, and when you're a doorman, you're putting a lot on safety, security, transactions coming through the door, just being able to read everything that's going on. And when you do that, you're also that person that you're the greeter. You're that distraction. You're that person that's coming up with, hey, if there's if you're doing a person count, there's too many people inside, and you're creating that false wait, that traffic flow to go back and forth. So when if you have two people up front and you have two doormen, or like if the business is slow and you got people coming in and they're green people coming in, that's when you have two people sometimes that they split off. It gives one time to the person doing the distracting at the door. It gives time for the person to go to the back, get to a station, maybe get gloves on, prepare things, or take an order, get to a phone, whatever it is you have to do. You have to work in sync with whoever you're going with. So, as one heads to take an order, maybe one dis- one distracts the people and says, "Hey, you know, they have to be the salesman. They have to throw the first pitch out there. They gotta be that first smile that people are seeing. Hey, welcome to this place. You know, how are you doing?" So it's the one creating a false weight. To be that one creating a false weight, you know, it's that experience. And the experience, it's a welcome to dot dot dot, whatever the business is. And then you have to go, hey, our specials are this, or we have this on our board over here. Why don't you check this out? We have this up here on our TVs, or we have this on a container over here that shows what this looks like. We have, you know, a limited edition of this coming out, and this is our next week's specials. It's little things to kill that time, create that false wait, instead of saying, hey, it's going to be 5 minutes, or we need you to stop here. There's ways to make distractions to go about creating that time illusion from the time someone walks into a place to a lot of people will be like, oh, we don't have time, or they're in a rush. But before you know it, people spend more time in places than they really think. I mean, there's a lot of people who go, oh, we're going to go in and out, and then you're walking up and down an aisle in the store for an hour. It doesn't matter. Somebody can go to rent a movie and go to rent one movie, but then they're looking at all the new movies that came out. There's many examples you can go through and create many scenarios for this. Um, as far as I go, it was one of those where when you switch in the day, sometimes you need to ask, what's recommended. Ask your manager. Go up to your managers, no matter what the business is, X, Y, Z, and you want to know what's about to be 86th. What might become 86 during the day? What are we close to getting out of? You know, you have to think in terms of, we have a limited edition, or if this goes out, we're not going to be able to do this, this, and this. So knowing XXX, before anything's out, and staying up on your job, if you need to make 20 parts and you only have 10 bolts, you obviously can only finish 10 parts. So making sure that you have enough supply, if something's running low, the relay system in a business is very important. So that relay back then to the doorman, you don't want the doorman selling something you don't have. So if you can't create that product, can't put that product out the door, the salesman should know to shut that product down to 86 it. And it doesn't matter what business you're in. It comes down to, hey, if you buy this product, maybe it comes in a special box, maybe it comes with a special offer or something that comes with it. You know, it's little things like not sitting on railings, not writing on walls or touching something, or hey, we just cleaned that, but don't put fingerprints all over it. You know, like try to let things marinate a second, let things, you know, actually be seen for being cleaned, fixed up, put away. Take some pride in that, and you know, don't destroy anything ever. Don't disrespect anyone. Always be as respectful as you can. Would you want that done to you? Would you want that done at your house? Would you want that done to your car? Would you want that done on your property? How would you really like people to act and treat your stuff? You know, it makes a big difference in life, and you get out the energy you put out. So, smile, have fun. Your energy and emotion in any business. But at the same time, you have to be safe. You have to be secure. You have to be confident in whatever it is you're doing. You know, look at where the windows are, the doors, the lighting. You always want to pay attention to everything around you. And if it's raining out, you gotta be that extra light. You gotta be that extra smile when people see you. You gotta create that environment that when you step from outside where it's raining to inside, now it's not raining. Now there has to be a light. There has to be an energy flowing different. So it's dark and rainy outside. You gotta create that light inside. So as you move through an experience, it's personal. You know, I see it at a lot of like small businesses, places. You know, tips, collection boxes. You know, always tipping people when people leave their change. You know, when they break a 10 and something's like $7, $8. You know, put in $2 and you never know, 200 might come back and something might happen later. But good things will come if you put good things out. If you're always, sometimes I understand like being frugal, but then frugal is different than being greedy. There's times I have no money like on me, and I know I'm going to get paid here and go back through and replenish what I got to go through and get. But making sure you tip the places you're going to because it's a service. You know, I went through some stuff and I had to have something towed the other day. I made sure I like tipped the driver, gave him money to go get a coffee, like get a bottle of pop and get stuff. You know, I didn't just just pay your fee, or you always, because yeah, that business is getting that fee, but at the same time that driver is getting a wage. So at the end of the day, that driver might get a wage, but it doesn't mean he's getting part of that fee that you just pay that company. So giving a driver a tip sometimes can change their day. It's the little things in life that come back to you that can change your life. And maybe something happens down the road, that person will remember that time you were like more generous, and generosity comes back to you then. And when you're doing this, a lot of eatery services, wait staffs, a lot of places, even though they're raising minimum wage, they're still underpaid, or they're still, maybe they're inexperienced because now you have new client or new people coming in on top of having new clients. So it's a new experience for both the person working, plus it's a new experience, for the people working there. I think it's a big time. I know everything's opening back up, but I think it's a good time for everyone to also still slow down and take things in perspective, that there has to be added time to everything going on. Everything's opening back up, but everything needs more time to progress at the same time. You can't just expect people, I know like it's hard as people get older, but it takes time to get the experience. So we have to give the youth time to learn, gain the experience to then catch up to. So when it comes to the youth, I think it's a very big time in where our country is that we need to really take the time out to teach, take the time out to help people as much as possible, and pay it forward to like put the experience out there. And if you're greedy and you hold that experience in, you don't put that experience out. You don't help the person next to you. If you're not helping that person that doesn't know what they're doing, you're not just hurting that person and holding that person back, but you're hurting everyone else because that experience can't get shared. It's stopping at you. And you're saying you're the only one worth having that experience. So paying it forward, sharing the experience is a very big key part of any business. And that's my perspective, that's my opinion. But it reflects how you are as a professional in nature, in business and personal. It's that bridge and that gap, how you're forming. You might have all this, but are you trying to collaborate and grow a team and be one collective, or are you just trying to be this individual and not be part of a team? it, there's a very big fundamental difference in your approach. Anytime that you really look at a collective experience, being one company, doesn't matter if there's 5 people, 7 people, or 2 people, it's still one. It still takes everyone to complete all their jobs. It still takes everyone to be effective. If you get your stuff done, go help the next person. And then once everyone's done, everyone can take a break. Then maybe next time you need more help, and that person that you helped will come over and help you. But if you don't go help that person, the next time you need help, that person might not come help you. So being a collective and working together as one makes a big difference for all the outcomes. Another thing with outcomes is, whatever comes in your door must go out. So with those outcomes, the experience and feedback, talk is your best advertisement. It's your best free advertisement. I used to chef, and if someone comes in and they have a good Sunday brunch, you'd have all the church crowd. But when that person goes to church next week, they're going to say, hey, we ate down here, the food was good, and they're going to bring people with them this time. And next time they're going to bring more people, and next time, and it's a wave. And then that wave gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and you build clientele up in an eatery. So as an eatery, like, if you're going to this event, that event, how you are in the community, that's going to affect your business back and forth on your flow and how things are coming. And then, hey, we're going to get this 9 o'clock rush. Hey, we're going to get 11 o'clock rush here, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock. And it starts to give you some predictability of, who's talking, where your free feedback talk is, the experience. So the consequences of a positive or negative, like, experience, it doesn't matter what business line you're in. Nowadays, you have Yelp. You have all kinds of things that can really drag down a business compared to the amount of people that don't put something on. So I think if you have a positive feedback, definitely put positive feedbacks out there for people. It's as important as the negative feedbacks. That reflection of your business. Do you stay up and it's clean? Is there repairs? The sanitization? The truth in that, to see people working all the time. Doesn't matter, like, if there's people there or not. Are the people staying busy? Are they staying working? Are they keeping it nice? Is the company putting money back into the employees? Which leads me to a relay system. So if you look at true talk and personal reflection, community perspective, company feedback, the relay system, the circle of life, what goes out must come back, the food, to the kitchen, to the mouth, to a heartbeat, to the person going in to get a paint can, have a paint can mixed to color, bringing in a color scheme, somebody having a logo done. sign work, windows, your doorman, the clothes you wear, how you represent that company, what everything is a feedback. Everything will come back to you as far as, what's heard, what's seen, what's tasted, what's smelt. Were you anxious when you're in there? Were you waiting in line for a good minute to get through a line? It's the monkey see, monkey do effect. Where was everybody staying busy or was everybody sitting around? It really changes that repetitive experience, So you want to have the same no matter who your crew is, no matter what company you work for. You want to be a crew leader that keeps your crew on task. It doesn't matter if you have 5 people here, 2 people there, 7 people there, different people here, different people there. No matter what time that next customer comes in, your customer repetitive experience is very crucial. It's that exclamation point to say no matter what crew is on deck, that you're going to get that same experience. You're going to get that real good experience when you come in this place because we're going to be that company that respects things. We're reliable. We know their environment. We know their actions. We know when something's right. We know when something's wrong. We see the things taking place. So we know that they hustle. They spread out. Their everyday activities. They're always washing windows, they're always sweeping floors, they're always mopping floors, they're always moving. The example is just cleaning and staying busy all the time. Your basics to, you know, what does what's created by every individual, and then how all those individuals react, and then the overall experience, and that it's repetitive each time you come back. Big amusement parks, places you go to, going to the theater. Doesn't matter what you do, you see these repetitive bases. So we're taught them if we open our eyes. We can see them happening. We can see the fundamental structure. And if you see the fundamental structure, then you know what's good, what's bad, morally choose, right, wrong, places you support. Does that store always put their carts back up for people to use them, or do they limit a false wait because hey, if they don't bring the carts in, people aren't getting as much. There's no carts. Now they have to use baskets. Baskets are out. They can only grab what's in their hands. They're in, out. It's what kind of experience are people trying to create? So your created individuality is your confidence. The confidence in personal growth. Are you taking a card out from a store and then taking it back up? That way the next person can use it? Or are you throwing your trash in the trash can? Or are you putting the trash on the floor next to the trash can? So then somebody else has to come by and pick it up, and if somebody doesn't pick up, it's going to sit there. And it's going to draw ants. It's every little thing has a reaction and a consequence, and it changes the confidence. People are properly throwing their trash away, not disrespecting a place. It shows a lot to the employees of respect. At the same time, if people are just throwing their stuff in your driveway, then that's saying, hey, maybe they were mad, maybe they didn't like it. It creates all kinds of stuff in people's heads. So I think, like with any business and any customer and any business, those have to go hand in hand. You have to be able to really create boundary lines, the place, the space for everything. Maybe you didn't have enough trash cans in place. Maybe you need a trash can outside. Maybe you need a trash can inside. Maybe you need to have more flyers going out in the mail. Maybe you need to send more emails. Maybe you need to promote your company this way. Maybe you need more t-shirts. Maybe you need more logos. Maybe you need more stock. Maybe you need to give out a few free t-shirts so people are wearing them around and they can see your logo and support your company and support your business and go about things that way. You have to create that experience for you. So experience your time of creation. Get out of what you put in. You know, you get out what you put in. You might surprise yourself, and you never know. You know, it might not be this week. It might be next month. It might be 3 months from now. It might be 6 months from now. It might be the yearly look back. You know, and you might shock yourself and be like, wow, you know, I did this, XXX, you know, that came out of me. I did that. You're going to surprise yourself, like, every day. And the more you do that, the more that makes you smile. And that will make you smile. It will make you smile at yourself. It will make you smile at your accomplishments. You know, that creates our pride. That creates our ego. That creates our self perception. How people perceive us. You know, the other forms of our reality, our light, our energy. Each person, you know, each vibration affects the next. So, you know, each vibration affects the next. And it's, to me, it's like your arm's length. You know, what can you touch? I can touch my phone. I can touch this. I can touch that. I can touch my cord. You know, I can reach behind me and touch my flag. I can, you know, pick up my area around me and keep this area clean, and maybe that's going to affect the next area next to me and keep that clean, and it becomes a good habit, not a bad habit. All these little things in life, you know, are that handoff. It's that cooperation. It's your realm. You know, what can you touch? You know, did you walk by that and see something happen, or did you stop and say, "Hey, that's not right"? You know, um, and I mean, that's the circle back. It's, you know, what goes out comes back, the return, the repeat customers, quality, quality and showmanship, you know, no expectations, but the experience now, at the moment. You have to create that creative memory, you know, the memory created, the involvement, the seen sight, the unseen, you know, the gloves on, the hard work, the labor, seeing the fruits of your labor actually working with your hands. And when you do stuff that's built with your hands, and you build with your hands XXX, YYY, ZZZ, and you're going on, you're the architect. You know, every single one of us is an architect in our own, like, realm of what we can touch with our hands and what we can do. So the more of us that are architects, the more we create. You know, now whatever we create, it's showcased, it's presented. Was it saw and used? Was it saw and disposed of? All these different things. You know, people take with them for later. It's the feedback, you know, what's felt, the emotion. Are the trash cans empty or are they full? Or were people taking it with them? Did they take the box with them? Did they even take their trash because they savored that much of the experience that they took everything with them and cleared stuff out? And, you know, or did they stop and eat it there? Or did they take that part home and put it on their car? Or did they pay someone else to put the part on because they want to keep their old part for later because it's still good, because they like that part? Or did they hang this on their wall? You know, posters, pictures. Look at all the stuff, you know, this behind me. This stuff you're proud of, what you might put on your wall. The takeaway, you know. Did you hang that flyer on your fridge? Did you get a magnet so you put a magnet on your fridge? Were there pens given out so you took a pen and now you're writing with that pen? You're like, hey, I want to go back there because, hey, I'm writing with this pen and that was a good experience. You know, I'm going to go back to this place. It's that mental concept, that thought, that takeaway. You know, did they write on a cup because I got two different orders, but I needed to know what it was? You know, the writing on the cup, the organization, that pressure, you know, it relieves the pressure. It's the transparency between a customer relief and a company relief. So now the company doesn't have to explain this because it's right there. And the customer doesn't have to ask because it's right there. and you both see it, so it's very transparent for you both to see it. It's just that writing on the wall, the writing on the cup. It's knowing limitations, limiting questions, taking in, knowing, hey, that work was done, that answer's already there, and that provides, if you're transparent and you have an answer both ways, then it leads to more questions because you can be very transparent and you both have the information, and now you can go to the next question that's on, or the next question somebody might have. And when your answer's already there, it opens up that mirror reflection, that both sides, that when both sides see it, and then that's that circle back. It came back, the exchange, the changeover, in baseball, pitch hitters, bathroom breaks is the same. Any company you work for, being able to rotate people out, tap people in, put people in, give people a break out, give people a breather. Hydration and water is very important. It doesn't matter what you're in, keeping everybody hydrated. Go wash your hands, splash some water on your face. That energy to breathe for a second, step away, step outside, get some sunlight, drink some water, take a breath, you know, and after you do that, go in, tag the next person in so they can go on a break. But then everybody taking a break the same amount of time, not one person taking a break 10 minutes, rushing back. Next person gone 25, 30 minutes. If the person before you took a 10-minute break, try to stay around that same time. It creates, that collaboration as one that, you're going to stay up, and it keeps the value of everyone staying and feeling as an equal. It keeps that humble approach and positive energy flowing through that company when you can be equal, and it creates that team. It creates that strategic plan that's ready for any adaptation. You might not plan for who needs a break when, but know everybody's going to get a break. Know everybody's going to put some work in. Know everybody's going to help out, even if you might not work on something, but you're going to help clean it up. Everybody pitches in. Everybody is one. Nobody goes home until a job's done. It's the responsibility to own what you're doing now, to architect, create your own experience in life. And, now's the time. You're in a red zone, for example, that first last play, or maybe it's the last game, your last chance. Maybe it's, hey, I can't afford to get another job, this is my last job. Or it's that fourth and goal situation of, you feel that emotion so strongly every day when you get up. Every day you have to get up and go to the gym. Every day you want to go to the gym and put 2 hours in, so that way every day if you spend 1 hour at the gym, spend 1 hour lifting weights, even if it's emptying the stuff out of your cabinets and putting all the stuff in your cabinets back, moving your fridge, cleaning something, every day, doing something for an hour, being active, be in the day, go out for it. Maybe it's going to be in a musical you never tried out for, but at least you tried it once. You then if you need to practice for it. Maybe you went out for a basketball team, but you didn't make the team. But hey, I need to go back and practice this much. But then knowing what needs to be practiced and properly practicing things. And you're not always going to practice things perfect, but once you do, you want to practice perfect. So then when you're in the heat of the moment, you can give the best quality experience as you can. You want to get the best experience and the best outcome possible if that's really a niche and a craft you want to follow. So being able to experience the individual and the collective, to pay it forward, to always teach and be a leader and guide, but always teach and always know the time, take the time value in the situation. always be able to teach people and give them some time, so that way they can give you some time back and know what needs to be taught more of, or and reevaluate each other back and forth, and it's having no judgment and not taking it personal, but taking the help and that way of no judgment to compromise, use compassion and adapting. It's the humility to laugh, be you, smile. You have to go through these emotions, and you have to be very frugal with your time to be able to get the experience and give the experience and slow down enough. And I know a lot of people say there's not enough hours in the day, there's too much time, but maybe it's not that. Maybe it was just the time it takes to get the experience and to accomplish what you're after. You didn't realize the time it was going to take. So maybe you have to set your timeline back out a little bit, and maybe things happen for a reason. So that way, more time can be put in place to actually put it all together and make it all work. So I hope everybody can take something out of this if it resonates. If it doesn't resonate, I'm sorry. But if it resonates, take what fits, leave the rest. It wasn't for you. Hope everybody has a good day.